Thank you.
Well, thank you again. We'll continue right away with the head coach and captain today for South Africa, of course, Jacques Nienaber and Bongi Mbonambi. Once again, I will go straight to questions from the room. And again, a reminder to please wait for the microphone and to give your name and the name of the media organisation that you're representing. Start over here, please.
Hi, Jacques. Stephen here from Federal Sports. Jacques, the last 3 games, the Springboks have started really well and started quite quickly, which has been something that they've struggled with in the last couple of years. And generally, when we started well, got on to go on to win the match. What do you think's changed in the mindset that we've managed to have these sort of starts where the team has managed to score quite quickly and convert pressure into points?
I think. I think you can't plan for a good or bad start, but you can plan for, or you can start with intensity, and that's because, I mean, sometimes you're gonna score early or you're not gonna score early. You can concede early, but it is what it is. But I think you can always start with intensity because that's under your control. I don't think having a good start in terms of getting points on the board is always in your control. Sometimes destiny is just not in your way. But I thought that we started with massive intensity today. So I'm very happy about that.
In the front row, please.
Good evening, Jacques, and congrats on the result. The experiments for scrum halves, Marco and Dion, just talk us through how well those went for you.
Yeah, I think so. Internally, we obviously had massive respect for Romania, and we really gave them a lot of attention during the week. And a lot of analysis went on to them, but we also wanted to get something out of the game for us. And obviously that was the giving guys opportunity. We always say, listen, this guy covers fly off for us. He's our 3rd fly off. But you want to see him in a game in a World Cup where we can get some experience during the week training there. The same with the 9s today at wing. The same with Marco and yeah. So I think in terms of using 3 hookers, in terms of using 4 9s and getting guys opportunity and playing in a World Cup, that was one of our goals. And yeah, I thought there was some good and bad in that.
Bongi, this is for you. The reserve hookers, you know what I mean, they were hitting their lineouts. Did you work with them on that particular skill? Was there anything that you were offering in terms of advice, technique, psychology of throwing to the line, anything like that?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, if you look at Dion has been playing hooker since the Stormers days, I think, with Coach Jacques. I started playing hooker there and obviously moved on to flank. So Dion knows line-out throwing. And I mean, credit to our locks for keeping things very simple and clean. We was coming to Marco. Marco's been doing line-out throwing sessions with us since camp in Pretoria. So Marco's always cover for hooker if anything happened. Yeah, I mean, today they did a good job. Credit to them.
Bonjour Jacques, Pablo Ordas, Midi Olympique. Qu'est-ce que vous avez pensé du match de Cobus, Reynac, et à quel point ces 3 essais en début de match vous font du bien?
Please ask it again. I missed the first part. It was very soft.
Qu'est-ce que vous avez pensé du match de Cobus, Reynac, et à quel point les 3 essais qui marquent vous font du bien?
Yeah, in terms of Cobus' 3 tries. Yeah, Yeah, he did it in 2019. I think he's got the quickest hat-trick in World Cup history. I might be wrong, but I think that is something that he achieved in 2019. And today, I think he was a couple of minutes out on his own record. So, no, it was fantastic. Him and credit to all the guys that scored. I mean, Mapimpi, who's man of the match, scored 3 tries. Grant on the other wing scored 2 tries. So, yeah, there was a couple of tries around, and I think there was a couple that we missed, which we will have a look at on tomorrow and on Monday, on Tuesday, and yeah, try and fix that.
Front row, please.
Hi, you had Vincent drop out in the warm-up. It looks like a knee injury from what people were saying online. What can you tell us about that? How's he looking, and any other injuries in the squad?
Yeah, no, Vincent, yeah, unfortunately, he hobbled in the warm-up, and yeah, it was, I think it's his knee. That's what yeah, it's his knee. And yeah, no, I don't have an idea how bad it is or anything like that. And in terms of the other injuries, no, like I said last week, the doc will probably go through it now. We'll have a better understanding of it maybe tonight, a little bit later. And then if there must be any specialist investigations done, will probably get done tonight and tomorrow.
Cheers.
Go here and then here.
Bonjour, Frédéric Ormary du Journal du Sud-Ouest. Vos buteurs ont raté 4 coups de pied la semaine dernière contre l'Écosse, encore 4 aujourd'hui. Est-ce que c'est le principal souci pour vous aujourd'hui?
I think we had 11 conversions taken today with 2 different kickers, and I think they nailed. The one was a penalty try, so they didn't have to kick that. But I think they missed 4, yeah, like you say, 4 out of 11. They must just keep on working. Not an issue for me.
Go here, white stripes, and then at the back of the room, please.
Jack, just to come back on your first reply about your experiments, you said that there were some good and bad things about these experiments. Can you please develop? Thank you. Oh, sorry, Simon Valzer, Midi Olympique, but we don't care.
Yeah, no, yeah, we will have a look at them. I think, obviously, having Grant scoring 2 tries, and he's a specialist 9, that can be a third option at wing. The same with Faf, specialist 9, but can be a third option at fly-off. So, yeah, I think the fact that they had a game time in that position. So obviously they trained in those positions during the week. So they got a couple of reps in training, and then having to do that under pressure in the conditions against a team like Romania today, yeah, that was the positive out of it. And obviously there will be some things that you can see you could do better, because it's easier in training. There's no pressure on you, but doing it for your country in a World Cup, there's pressure to execute. So yeah, but we will probably pick up certain things that they didn't execute that well, and we'll work on that.
Bonjour Jacques, Nicolas Paolorsi pour la radio RMC. Qu'est-ce que vous attendez désormais après le début de compétition parfaite du match contre l'Irlande, et quelle est l'importance de ce match dans l'optique d'un quart de finale contre la Nouvelle-Zélande ou la France ou l'Italie? Merci.
Yeah, we will probably. We've got a short turnaround, so we'll probably enjoy tonight, but in a probably controlled manner, because we play in 6 days again. But we will start making plans for Ireland tomorrow, and yeah, it will obviously be a big game in terms of who's finishes 1 or 2 in the pool. Maybe not, you know. We still have Tonga. So there's still games to be played. We're only halfway, so I don't want to get too far ahead in terms of that. And in terms of who we play, if it's Italy, if it's France, if it's New Zealand, I mean, it's going to be a tough quarterfinal. Doesn't matter. Who we play. And we can't determine that. We can only play and prepare as well as we can for the next game. And then destiny will decide who we play in the quarterfinal. And we knew that it will be down that route. Yeah, we're happy with that.
We'll go in the white here, please, and then we'll take a question from the left.
Hi, Jack. Rory O'Connor, Irish Independent. What have you made of Ireland so far, and how ready do you feel your team is for the challenge?
Yes, I'll be 100% honest with you. I didn't look at. I watched the game, but I didn't look at it from an analytical point of view. And like I mentioned last week, for us, it was focusing on today's match, and respecting them with the proper respect Romania needed, and put all the effort into that. But also our players that played tonight, we had to make sure that we can't think about Ireland because it will be disrespectful towards the players that we selected for this game. Our job was to make sure that they are as good prepared for this specific match to perform, to give them an opportunity to get selected next week. So that was the focus. Watched Ireland, scanned them a little bit, but the analysis on them will start tomorrow. Probably we'll have to have a look and see what our injury status look. Are we ready for them, or do we feel ready for them? We'll probably have a good look at what the injuries look like tonight. I think credit to Romania. There will be some sore bodies there tonight. There was some proper shots in that game. So we'll have a look and see where we are from an injury point of view. And like I said, then we'll make decisions on team selection probably during tomorrow and on Tuesday, and announce it on Tuesday internally. And yeah, then we'll go.
Jacques, Janja. It's a two-part question. The first part is, what do you enjoy most, the 76 points you scored or the 0 that you gave away?
I think, like I said, we had specific goals in this in what we wanted to achieve, and for me that was the internal pressure. So the players knew what we want to achieve on different levels, on a plan level. I mean, we wanted to give Marco some time as a hooker, scrumming, throwing in, but it can only happen if we're in a good position, otherwise you can't make those little plan changes from a selection point of view or a substitution point of view. And again, we wanted to get Bongi off after 40, to get Dion and Marco sharing the hooker load in the second half. But that can only happen when they did a proper start. So there was some internal pressure on us. But yeah, I must say, from a defensive point of view, like I said, we really gave Romania a lot of attention in the week. We were well prepared. We had our defense session at Stad Majol in front of, I think there was a couple of thousand people. It was an open session for us, so there was a nice vibe at the training session, and we worked really hard to make sure that we are well prepared for them from a defensive point of view. So obviously happy with the performance that went out there. The fact that it went to 76 points or went to 0 points, I mean, sometimes the scoreboard goes for you or against you, but the effort was there, the intensity was there, and that I really enjoyed.
You touched on the intensity, but given the way the guys performed, has your selection process for the big game next week suddenly become a lot more complicated?
I think from a selection point of view, we always we open and honest with the players. They know how our heads, where our heads are at, and how we look at things and what we're thinking. We'll probably share that with them even tonight. We will tell them this is what we're thinking. Don't hold the gun against our head that we are going to go that route. But we certainly have an idea in our minds what we want to do for the next game, excuse me. But yeah, and that's it's nice that there's such good internal competition within this group, and a positive competition. Like the question was with Bongi, does he help? Did he help the guys? And he did. He put effort into them as much as he put into his own game, and that's the beauty of where the squad is currently at. There's nice competition, and there's not a big gap between the players currently. And unfortunately, some guys will be unlucky, but their job then moves from playing the game against Ireland to being Ireland in the week and be the best version of Ireland that they can be, to make sure that we get the right pictures and that we are well prepared for Ireland.
I'm afraid we've only got time for one more question, so I'll go with the yellow, please.
Hi, Jack. With Dion and Marco having game time at hooker today, did this game help you to make your choice regarding Malcolm Marx and his replacement? And have you made a choice?
Yeah, no, the decision on a replacement will probably happen tonight. We didn't want to even discuss it as a coaching group before we went into this test match. And that decision will be made tonight based on, like Vincent he was supposed to start the game and he couldn't continue, and then France had to step up from in a bench. Trevi had to go into starting the game. So obviously there's a little bit of injury worries within the side. So we will have a proper look and assessment on where we are currently from a fitness point of view, and then we will make a decision based on who we will get in for a replacement for Malcolm.
Okay, that will be the final question. I'd like to thank you both, and thank you all. And a reminder that the mix zone will now open.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.